Well, hello, guys, and welcome to another edition of Sir Derwin Speaks. I'm Sydney, I'm Sir Derwin, and I just wanted to come to you guys to tell you that I need you and you need me. That's a beautiful thing right there, guys. But we're so excited about you guys being with us on today. Welcome to another edition. And for those that are already currently subscribers, we honor and salute you. And those that will begin, hopefully or prayerfully become subscribers, we welcome you to our channel. This is a channel that's dedicated to just being real and authentic, real people in a real world dealing with real situations. And we just want to make this channel transparent because we don't believe in just hyping up and trying to mislead and misguide people. Most of the content that's going to be shared are revelatory. There's things that God has released and things that I've experienced that has brought revelation. And I too invite you to be a part of our show on today. And I ask you to sit tight, give me some due diligence. Give me at least 5 or 10 minutes of your time. And if you find any value in this content, guys, stay with us for the journey. And then if you decide to subscribe or give us a thumbs up, and hit that bell, we'll really appreciate that. But we're really focused on trying to develop quality content that's really going to help promote you to want to change. I want to say good morning, good evening, good night, wherever you guys are viewing this. And we want to jump right into today's show. We have some great things that we want to talk about. It's going to be a mixed gambit of things that we're going to mix back and forth in the tone of bringing you into an overall revelation about what I'm trying to speak on today. But I wanted to share something that I think is a very overlooked topic that sometimes we don't hear a lot of people say it anymore. But we're going to be talking about a subject called gratitude, being grateful, being grateful. It's an internal appreciation for something that somebody has done or something that's been done for you or to you. So we want to talk on that lines, about being grateful and having gratitude in some of the toughest times that we're living in our lives. So many of us are going through so many things. It doesn't even matter how much money you have, what is your career, your prestige and honor. Everybody that is alive today is going through some type of situation or circumstance. But in the midst of all of this, we just want to talk today about being grateful. Just having gratitude when it seems like you don't have anything to be grateful for. Because in the life that we're living in, so many times, we always are addressing the issues and the circumstances that in front of us. The stuff that we're dealing with currently, our hands involved in, we're actively engaged. These things are shaping the perimeter of our thought process, where we sometimes just take stuff for granted. But we want to be a type of person that, when we wake up in the morning, we're grateful to God that He chose us to wake up. There was a study that was done, and this may have been an old average, but it said on an average in the world, there's over 165 deaths. But when I begin to look at it, at the number of millions and millions and millions of people in this world, just 100 and some thousand people die daily. And then there was, on the other note, it said that about 365,000 babies are born daily. So I'm just looking at the numbers, and I just begin to look at and think of the fact that everybody that is alive today has something to be grateful and thankful for. I don't know if you've ever just looked at that as a topic or looked at it as something, but just to be able to say when somebody does something nice for you, taking a moment to show people that you didn't have to do this. And the same way with God, He didn't have to restore us and offer us back salvation to come back to Him. But having the gratitude, and there's a story in the Bible about 10 lepers. And the 10 lepers were people that were afflicted with what we call today leprosy. And in that biblical time, anybody that was affected with any type of disease or disabilities or things of that nature, it was Levitical law that they would have to say unclean, unclean, unclean. It was a way to keep them away from the people. It was their culture to believe that if a person was this way, that they had something or had done something or their family had done something that violated God. So at this particular time in the story in the New Testament, as it comes into the New Testament dispensation, Jesus was being known in all the regions. In Samaria, in Galilee, Jerusalem. Jesus was walking in areas that were known to be enemies against his people. But in this particular story, he was walking along the coastlines of Samaria, and there were some lepers, 10 lepers, that heard that Jesus was passing by. Can you imagine being afflicted since birth with something like that and then have to carry it all your life, and then you have to be saying unclean, unclean, but now you get news of somebody that's coming through that has the ability to heal you? And also, as a side note, just as we build the story, in order for you to be, once you receive some type of healing, whether it was natural or whether God did it, in order for you to be able to integrate back with society, you would have to be pronounced clean by the priest. So as the story goes on, as these 10 lepers called out to Jesus, to ask him to have mercy on them, Jesus spoke to them and told them, told them to start going towards the king. And he said, you would be made whole. I'm just surmising it. And so, can you imagine that here's the man that has the power to change your life? And he just tells you to go. And the act of going is an act of obedience. Obedience is what releases the blessings of God and the good and positive things that come into our lives. Being obedient to the right things. So as the story go on, as the lepers took off and they were obedient to go to the king, they already knew that in their mind that if they were being told to go to the king, their only disposition going to the king would be that they would be made whole. Now, as all of those lepers were heading towards the king to be made whole, one leper, before he had ever made it to the king, went back to Jesus and told him, thank you. Thank you. And then went back on his journey to go to the priest to be pronounced clean. What are you saying? I'm saying that no matter what it is that happens in our lives, the mindset of being grateful for whatever good things are coming into our lives. On a twist, we could say we could be grateful for some of the bad things that have happened in our lives. Some of the things that we're going through right now. Some of those things that are changing our lives and putting us in a bad space. Eventually, we're going to be able to say that these things have worked out for our good, because the Bible teaches us this, that all things. See, it says, for we know. We're supposed to know this. That what you're dealing with right now is only the catalyst or the energizing component that's going to push you to the finish line. You can't stop. But you got to be grateful for the little things that God has done and the things that you're blessed with. What are some of the killers of gratitude? Murmuring, complaining, griping. Always talking about what we don't have and what we can't get. It's already a given. If it's not evident, it's already given. But when you can thank God for the things that you do have, maybe it's a car that you want, you just can't get it. Are you walking? Or do you have something to drive? I might can't go to this 5-star restaurant I've been hearing about on the internet, but are you hungry? So looking at our mind, having the mindset to understand that, we have to have the ability to always take a moment and say thank you. It's okay to say thank you. It's okay to show gratitude for somebody that has done something nice for you, or somebody has helped you or given you a kind word. It's okay sometimes to even go back and say, I want to appreciate you. I want to tell you that I appreciate and have gratitude that you took the time out for me. Did you know that's something special when somebody knows you going through something in your life, but they take out time for you? This is a real conversation. I don't get into all the structure. I believe in being led by the Spirit of God because I've been through so much. 25 years on cocaine. And God has shown me so much that I missed in all of those years of addiction. But even in my addiction, I will still show God gratitude because I would say, Lord, thank you for waking me up this morning. Even though I was going to sin and do wrong, but I still recognized I needed to tell God, my higher power, Lord, I appreciate what you've done for me. If you don't do nothing else, man, you woke me up this morning and I'm able to move my body. I got another opportunity to be great. I got an opportunity to fix that bad stuff. Gratefulness. Are you grateful to your parents? Are you grateful to people that have made an impact in your life, took out time out of their schedule and try to help you, even though we may be in a small or a sad or a bad place? Gratefulness does not cut off because we lack. Gratefulness does not cut off because we just went through a bad marriage or a bad relationship, or we're church hurt, or something didn't happen, we lost our job. Gratefulness should be a part of your character. Real talk. The levels of greatness that is on your life has to be shaken sometimes, and sometimes we have to hit a hard spot just to crack off those things that have held us and enslaved us from going forth. We don't need, or you don't need somebody always patting you on your back. Realize this, self-identification, know who you are. It don't matter what we deal with, what you're dealing with right now. You still going. You've been through some of the worst things. And you still here, grateful. I've been shot over 8 times, shot 8 times. 6 to 8, something like that. Just lost count. Got bullet holes to show. I'm grateful that neither one of those bullets hit a vital organ. I could be dead. I wouldn't be on here right now. I take a moment sometimes when I'm going through my life and I start looking at all the bad stuff. I start thinking about, man, God, you're so good to me and I'm grateful. I am. I could be dead right now. Imprisoned. Years in and out of jail. I'm so grateful. I've got a beautiful wife, beautiful family, church family, pastor. It's so wonderful to have a community of people that you can look at and say, Lord, I'm so thankful that I have these people in my life. Even if you're not getting along with your own siblings right now, be grateful that they're still here. Be grateful that God has woke you up and you got an opportunity to make it right. Ain't only carrying around all these grudges and hardships and talking about all. Let's make things right and be grateful. Let's just show God I appreciate. Lord, I don't have everything, but Lord, I can just say, Lord, I love you and I appreciate what you've done for me. I just want to come back every now and then, God, and just throw up a thank you because I think about where you brought me from. I didn't want this YouTube channel to be about me just pushing towards monetization. I wanted it to be that this is another outlet or a platform where people could plug in and be energized and stand up and be great. Ain't stopping now. There ain't no option to stop. There's no option to quit, but you gotta be grateful. Being grateful will kill the murmuring and complaining. I don't have this. I don't have that. Well, that means we're in a process striving towards the things that we want. What would life be if there wasn't something that we were shooting for? What would we be living for if we didn't know heaven was going to be our home? Well, what are we doing this for? But if we believe this, the other parts of our character should reflect. You got to survive. There's no option to quit. There is no way out but for you to keep going forward. When we learn the spirit of being grateful, then we also lose our connection. Man, we're real people, man, in a real world. Don't you deal with real situations? How do we process this? How do we process losing a loved one that's so dear? Be grateful. It could have been you. You got to survive, but you got to be grateful. You got to be able to tell people that stand with you, I appreciate you. That's what I want you to do today. I want you to find somebody that has been good to you, have done some things for you. Take a moment and tell them thank you. Take a moment. Stand up and be great in the midst of what you don't have. Because you know why? When you're grateful, God sees the humbleness inside of you and he's quick to come to your rescue. God don't come to people with no haughty spirit like they all that. Come on. There's so much power in you that's been generated through pain over the years. Don't waste it. Be grateful. Lord, I could be dead right now. I could be in jail right now. I could still be in smoking drugs right now. I could be by myself. I could have no family. I'm so grateful. That I can walk. I stop thinking about all the stuff when my mind gets so inundated with so much stuff of what's going on. I just start thinking about how grateful I am to God that over 60 years, God has still been making a way for me, even when I wasn't trying to make a way for myself. I'm going to stand up and be great. Every time I go through something, I'm going to still tell God, thank you. I'm going to still tell that person that's been good to me, I appreciate you. Grateful. grateful. It's a part of our characteristic where we're able to unlock the greater things because we appreciate what we have and what we have the ability to get. See, that's what's being grateful. What we have and what we have the ability to get. See, we haven't even seen some of the stuff that God is getting ready to give you, but you can't get it if you ain't grateful, if you ain't thankful for the things you got right now. Murmuring and complaining, it just happens sometimes. Oh Lord, that's who we are. But it does not mean we can't catch ourselves and say, you know what? I know this, but I know this too. I'm grateful. I want you guys, when you view this video, this is for you. It is. This is for you. Because you are about to unlock some things that you've never seen before. God is getting ready to open some doors that have never opened for you. All he needs to see is that gratefulness. All he wants you to do is show a measure of appreciation. Talk to him. Pray. Lord, help me to recognize your goodness. Help me to recognize the people that you placed in my life. Guys, I just wanted to stop by today to have a real conversation. I didn't follow my normal protocol of the topics that I wanted to follow in the order as I was setting up a strategy, but I just felt like God just wanted me to put this in the atmosphere that no matter what you are going through, just stay grateful. Show your gratitude. Gratitude is like love. Love is an action word. Gratitude is also. It's okay to say thank you. It's okay to say I appreciate all that you've done. I'm grateful. You be grateful too. Some great things are coming your way. Listen, guys, I'm getting ready to hop off here now, but I thank you so much for the time you've given me. A real conversation, man. For real people in a real world. God is saying, show your gratitude. Be grateful. Walk at another level of greatness. We thank you so much for tuning in to the Sir Derwin Speak. We appreciate all your support. If you rode with us all the way to the end, we appreciate it. If you only gathered a portion, watch the entire video, guys. It's time to pump up and let's be great. All of these small elements that shape our character. We appreciate you tuning in. Hit that subscribe button for us if you found any value. Give us a thumbs up if you feel any value. And ring that bell, and every time that we put up or upload some new content, you'll get notified. We don't want you to miss what God is saying for your life. All he's saying is not a beat you up. It's a come on and let's go up. In the midst of what we're going through, gratitude will sustain you. Until the next time, guys, check out our playlist. Check it out. Look at the other videos and just watch them on autoplay. Lay back and listen as God will speak through you through that playlist. Let's energize ourselves in it and be grateful. Until the next time, guys, I need you and you need me. Let's be great. Next time, God be blessed.